I'm Alicia. I live in Dallas. I'm 23 years old. I do real estate for a living. I got into real estate because I like dealing with people. I'm a social person. I like talking to people, and I don't like to sit behind a desk from 9 to 5. Actually, life is a crazy roller coaster, and I'm just in the front seat ready for the ride. I'm a bit of a free spirit, and the people that I probably won't get along with are the real uptight ones, the real bossy ones, the people who think that they're always right when they're not. My personality and looks don't always fit each other. I'm a huge tomboy. I grew up around boxing. My dad was a boxing promoter. So I grew up around that, and people might think, oh, Malibu Barbie's out here, or some, prissy girl or a cheerleader, and I'm far from that. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. I love thrill, I love adventure. I'm 100% fearless. There's absolutely nothing I won't do in this game to win. I think the two most lethal words in a person's vocabulary are what if. What if I'd done that? What if I'd taken that chance? There's so many people, like the one thing in life that you can't get back is time. I don't want to wake up with regret thinking, what if I'd done that? And so I'm a doer. I make big moves. If I want something in life, I go after it. And that's why I'm sitting here right now. I'm a mental giant. I mean, you might be bigger than me, you might look stronger than me, but at the end of the day, you're not going to intimidate me. And I'm not out here to make friends. So, you're not going to hurt my feelings. And growing up around like boxing with my dad and stuff, I've seen fighters in the ring getting their faces knocked off, and they keep fighting. They fight for what they want, and at the end of the day, it's taught me to not give up, and that's what I'm going to bring to this game. I'm extremely opinionated, and I'm very confrontational. But when it comes to this game, I can't exactly be like that. So one of my struggles might be, holding back my temper and, controlling my emotions. But at the end of the day, you have to realize, look at the big picture. Don't let one moment of being a hothead cost you $1 million. So when you're sleeping on dirt at the end of the day, and I'm sleeping on $1 million, it'll be worth me holding my tongue. But when it comes to confessionals, I'll blast you.
My name is Anna. I am from Brooklyn, New York, and I am a professional poker player. Before I started playing poker, I was in love with Survivor. I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm pretty comfortable socially. I meet different people all the time. Like when I sit at a poker table, I'll have people from Norway, from Canada, from Puerto Rico, and all different types of ages and ethnicity. So I don't think I'll have a problem with many people, although I'm going to be wary and I'm going to keep reading the situation and keep figuring out what it all means. I don't want to push too hard because I don't want to seem like I'm really playing, but I want everyone to like me so I can get as far as I can in the game. It's a social game. I've had my heart broken a few times, so I have a pretty thick layer. I don't really trust many people at all anymore. I used to trust a lot of people, and I was, I think, very naive. I've grown through that process. When I came to this country, so I came here from Russia when I was 4 years old. And my father, when I was 11, told me, I'm going to provide the essentials. Food, shelter, and clothes. Everything else, if you want to go to the movies, you got to go to, you got to work. I definitely count on people underestimating me. I think being a female, and I think sometimes being underestimated as being a female, is going to work to my advantage. If there is a male that loves females, I'll play up my flirt card. I'll flirt with a female if need be. I'll do what I need to do. I'll tone it down with the conservatives and whatnot. But I will play whichever card I need to play once I'm with that specific person. I am pretty good at assessing people, and I think so. So I'll really learn if I can or not. It's really exciting for me to finally put my skills, I think, to the test and see if I really am that good. If I'm not, then that's okay. I'll have something to work on, but it's thrilling to be able to do it.
My name is Aubrey Bracco. I'm 29 years old. I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but I'm originally from New Hampshire. I work as a social media community manager, so that means that I manage the Facebook page for a company and communicate with everyone coming in. I have an interesting perspective that I've kind of had this really unique education where I've gotten to go to some really great schools, but I kind of do things my own way, and I really kind of pride myself in being a little bit weird and using some of the things about me that might be a little awkward to help people get their guards down so I can get to know them more. It might seem like I'm a little bit of a nerd and I have the glasses when you look at me, but there's more than just book smart, and I really pride myself on being people smart. I want people to laugh. I think if you don't laugh, you'd probably be crying. So what would life be if you weren't laughing a little bit and being a little bit weird? I think I'll probably have fun making a coconut phone, kind of like Greg Buse. Like, that was one of my favorite things. You need to kind of bring a little something home, and you can be creative with your surroundings and make stuff funky and fun. I'm definitely gonna have to bite my tongue. The one Achilles heel I definitely have, aside from biting my tongue, is that I can kind of make faces sometimes. So I feel like people probably think I'm super intense, and there's a part of me that's super intense. I'm a Scorpio sun sign, but I'm a Gemini rising, so the Gemini part of me is very chatty and fun and not intense. So it's this weird blend. I absolutely love meeting people. I'm always in the search for the most authentic people in my life, and I get along with such a wide range of people that I really want to prove to myself that I can put all the puzzle pieces together from my experience dealing with people to kind of get to the end and just use that experience to win.
What's up? I'm Caleb. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and you probably know me from Big Brother 16. I got the name Beast Mode Cowboy on there. I wore my cowboy hat all the time, which I don't have with me today. But I was known for just being a big beast in competitions, being strong, and being a very physical competitor in the house. Me and my brothers, we do a lot of hunting. We're constantly four-wheeling. We're going mudding. We live the country, the country boy lifestyle. We live on a farm, and we do our outdoor events. I'm like the Jungle Book. I'm like Tarzan. I'm like in my habitat, and I'm at home when I'm in Survivor. So Survivor's always been a game that I feel like I would be good at, and it's just been a game I've always wanted to play. Before Big Brother, I was just a personal trainer. I worked at Lowe's part-time, and then I was a personal trainer the other part-time / full-time. I woke up, I went to Lowe's, I would do my thing, get on the forklift, move some mulch, and then right after that I was constantly training people for the rest of my day. And then all of a sudden Big Brother came along, and needless to say, I haven't moved any mulch since, and I haven't personal trained anybody since. Oh man, I'm gonna have us out there doing karate moves and Muay Thai and all sorts of stuff on the beach. I'm gonna try to do my part and be funny, and I'll probably even try to hurt myself a few times just to watch people get laughter out of it. Who knows? I like social media. It just kind of makes me smile because, 300,000 people enjoy who I am. They may just like me because I'm handsome, or they may like me because I take shirtless pictures all the time, or gym pictures, whatever it may be. $1 million is a lot of money. But $1 million can also go really quickly. And probably the biggest thing that I'm going to do with it is I'm going to try to invest in getting a homeless shelter built just for veterans, for the military, especially in my area. There's some other priorities that I see that my money is best fit for than me.
My name is Sydney Gillen. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a professional bodybuilder. I started going to shows when I was 6, and then when I turned 13, I was like, hey, I want to do that because it had all the rhinestones and the heels, and I was just like, that just matches me. It's like a sport and still super prissy at the same time, which blends me together pretty well. I'm doing my post-bac pre-med program at Georgia State, and then once I get all my pre-med requirements done, I'll go to med school. I want to be the trainer for the Falcons. That would be the ultimate job. I've come from all different backgrounds. I've met so many different types of people, especially coming from Georgia. So I have my southern feel for everybody, and I still have my manners, so that helps a lot too. But then going to college in Philly really broadened my horizons. I feel like they will absolutely peg me as a physical threat. And immediately off that, everybody does it. Even the guys, the girls, it doesn't matter. They all just already know, she is somebody that I need to watch out for. I tend to not really like girls too much because people can just be petty. I like, the women that I like have a certain type, and they're all very assertive and have what psychology tests would consider masculine qualities. So unless you're like that, I probably won't. I can't deal with lots of tears, all that extra stuff. I can't do it. I feel like I'm gonna take it upon myself to be the main person up in the ocean, finding me some sea urchins. And if you don't want to eat, I'm gonna eat. You can stay on the beach if you want to. But if I find this food, don't think you're going to be eating none. I would say there's not a lot of things Sydney wouldn't do, but I have alter egos who might do more than Sydney would. There's one named Rebecca. Rebecca is a more refined Sydney. Rebecca is a person who goes to my interviews, meets with my teacher. She's more of a, she enunciates every word. She's way more polished. We'll say that. Then I developed Storm. I had to develop Storm the other day because I was like, if you're really going to make it through, you just got to up, because that's just what it is. So I decided Storm is going to be the person that's just super conniving, just does whatever the hell she wants to do. But I feel like I'm getting back into a corner. Oh, I'm coming out slinging. I'm a psychology major. So in those studies, we had a study where it's like, if you're not technically the person to blame, you could care less. So I was like, well, it's not Sydney doing it, it's Storm.
My name is Darnell Hamilton. I'm from Calumet City, Illinois, which is on the south side of Chicago, and I work at the United States Postal Service. I'm going to tell you right now that the Postal Service lives up to its reputation of postal. So I've been playing this Survivor game well before I even got out here. I grew up as a screw-up, as I tell people. You know, I did a lot of things when I was young. I should have been a different path. I graduated high school with a 2.0, and that's stretching it, okay? I really had to climb to get out. You know, I put myself in a hole early, and I worked hard every single day to get myself out. I think what's going to help me in this game is the street smarts. You know, a lot of these people, you know, they read books on how to be manipulative or lead how to be sneaky. I had to be sneaky. My mom is from the projects, my father's from the projects, okay? My mom did not want me to do the same thing that her brothers and stuff was doing. So I had to try to be sneaky. If I wanted to go out at night, I had to be smart. Like, I had to know what time she go to sleep. What time you go to sleep, Mom? Soon as she go to sleep, I'm out. What time she wake up? I had to learn all that stuff. You know, I always was like an analytical person. Like, I always, if I didn't like you, I didn't like you. I didn't know what it was, but it was a feeling like, there's something wrong with this person. And 9 times out of 10, I'm right. When I did the Survivor, I'm like, I'm gonna go for it, you know? I think that I'm gonna make it. Why not me, you know? Some people gonna hate and say, you ain't gonna make it. It's what I say, hateration is my motivation. Being out here is everything, you know? Not too long ago, it was cold, snowing and everything. I'm out here on the beach, you know, the chocolate is melting. I feel good with myself. I didn't have a role model, and I want to use myself as a pillar. You know, there's probably some people whose dreams was crushed by somebody, the kid that was bullied at home or whatever. They get to watch Survivor and see somebody like myself, where I've been through a lot of troubles, and they get to relate, and they be like, I can feel that guy. You know, he's going out there doing that stuff. And, you know, I want to win, not just for me, but for all the people that say I couldn't do it. I want to win for them too.
My name is Debbie Donato Warner. I am from Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm 49 years old and I'm a chemist. I have always loved science. I started out biology. Chemistry came naturally. Everybody was flunking it, hating organic, and I got an A, and some professor persuaded me to change. I like it. Very logical. Well, I'm also a captain in the United States Air Force Auxiliary, the Civil Air Patrol. And my family is largely military, mostly Marines. So at 17, some of the males kind of persuaded me. And then later in life, I wanted to go again after 9/11 and be a bomb neutralizer. I don't have to kill anybody, nobody gets to shoot at me, and I'm surrounded by awesome airplanes. You know, they always told me whether I was jumping off 60-foot rappelling towers or going through winter survival training, Mom, you know, you've taught us, just go for it in life. And that's what I want to instill in my daughters, women my age. I really want to inspire women not to sit back, be pushed around and told they can't do it. You can do it. I believe this is the right time for me because I've lived a life. I've made the mistakes. I've been burned. I've burned people. I've been blindsided. Everything I need to know, I think I now possess.
I'm Liz, I'm 27 years old and I live in New York City. I work as a quantitative strategist, which means I write computer programs that trade in the stock market to make money. I have a degree from MIT in mathematics, and my minor is actually in game theory, which is like the study of math as applied to solving strategic games to get the best possible strategy. I used to go out to Vegas every other weekend to count cards and made a lot of money bringing down the house out there. When I played blackjack, it was similar to Survivor in that you have to be really strategic and paying attention, running the numbers while not looking like you're doing that. You kind of have to blend in at the table, make small talk, and flirt with everybody. Flirting will be part of my game plan. I think it might be something I'll use a little bit more surgically, say, than Parvati did, but it's definitely a tool in my arsenal. I think I'm going to play a ruthless game out here. I'm going to look to the likes of Littlefinger from Game of Thrones or Claire Underwood from House of Cards for my inspiration when I'm playing. I think it would be fun to be a little bit of a villain out here. I think I'll try to get a little bit of a Machiavellian sort of thing going on. I'm not going to struggle at all with the elements out here. I've done a lot of outdoor stuff in my life. I've been to mountaineering and I've done some jungle survival training in Colombia. So I hope to be a pretty good provider in my tribe. My strong suits out here are going to be my ability to get along with lots of different types of people and my head for numbers, which is going to be really good for working out what the right strategy is. What I really need to do is relax and remember that it's just a game.
So my name is Jennifer Lanzetti. I'm 37, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I own a virtual construction company. I've been in construction on and off for almost 20 years, and my gender has never been an issue because I don't make it an issue and I don't let it be an issue. I'm an outspoken female, but I have really good ideas and I'm really good at what I do. I was always a tomboy, so I'm much more comfortable around men. However, the women in construction, they're badass. No drama. They tell you it like it is. I mean, they're fantastic. I am a badass, but I can be a princess. I don't like to get wet, especially when I'm sleeping. I'll jump in the ocean any day, but if it's raining and it's cold, So weather, changes in weather might affect me. The Marines have a saying, it's called Semper Fi, and it means always ready. Well, mine's Semper Gumby, always flexible. That's my strategy. The meek shall inherit the earth and all this stuff, and I think, no, it's the people who adapt and the people who want it the most that get something. Everything I've wanted with passion and gone after with passion, I've achieved. It's all gotta come from here. People ask me why I'm so happy, because I am generally a pretty happy person, and I say it's because I leave without a net, because I know that where a net's supposed to be is a trampoline, okay? So it doesn't matter how far you fall, you have every opportunity to bounce back higher than where you were. So why not take the risk? You're gonna be fine. We're always fine, but there's that possibility that you might be more than fine. You might be extraordinary and amazing and really happy.
My name is Joe Del Campo. I'm 71 years old. I live in Vero Beach, Florida, which is north of West Palm Beach, about 70 miles. And for the past 18 years, I've been a private investigator and a security consultant. Prior to that, I was an FBI agent for 25 years. All my life, I tried to be in shape, and we're given one body, so I want to try and keep that body as long as I can. And also, way back when I was an agent, I wanted to impress upon people, if they only met one FBI agent in their life, that I would come across as, pretty fit and hopefully the all-American boy. So I've kept that up through the years. I always wanted to be in good physical shape for myself personally and just in general. I like adventuresome things. Several years ago, 4 years ago, I was on a two-man security team on a yacht off the coast of Somalia. That was kind of a lot of fun. But I like adventuresome things, and I think this is like the top right here. To be able to be on an island with a diverse group of people, most of them way younger than me, and be able to survive and get through 39 days of lack of food, social interaction, and just love. That's what I'm looking for. Well, I was born on July 4th, and I'm the only child, or I was the only child in my family. So I went into the Navy. I was a naval officer for 3 years, and subsequent to that, getting out of the Navy, there wasn't anything I really wanted to do. I didn't want to sit behind a desk, and I had seen prior to that an agent give a presentation about joining the FBI, and I thought, you know, let me give it a shot. And again, 25 years later, I had a great career, I had a lot of fun, did some interesting, sometimes dangerous work, but all in all, it was an adventure just like this is.
I'm 18 years old. I'm originally from Burlington, Vermont, but now I am a student at Boston University. I am a Survivor superfan. I have been watching the show since I was 5 years old. The moment I turned 18 and was old enough to play, I applied. I have a lot of life experiences that are going to help me out here. The summer between my junior and senior year of high school, I actually lived in Tanzania doing community service and teaching English, but while I was there I got to, hike Kilimanjaro and camp at the Maasai, and I learned how to do all this crazy outdoorsy stuff, so I think that'll definitely help me out here. I think people are definitely going to underestimate me initially. I'm that girl who will walk across campus in heels, but really am outdoorsy and down to earth in my natural state. I'm from Vermont. I'm used to being up at the crack of dawn, on the mountain skiing and hiking and just getting dirty. And I grew up camping, so I think that people are definitely going to be surprised. I'm in a sorority and I'm constantly networking for jobs, so I have this ability to just instantly just connect with people. I put my education on hold to be here. I left halfway through my second semester of college. I'm only 18, so I just wanted to play, and I feel like I'm at the time in my life where this is it. This is the time I can play, and I can play as myself. I think that being a college student, I am at an advantage. Being young, I'm quick, and I'm constantly studying and using my brain and figuring things out, and my life is so fluid and shifting. A year ago today, I was sitting in a high school classroom, raising my hand to ask to go to the bathroom, and now I'm out here in Cambodia, playing Survivor.
My name's Kyle Jason. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a bounty hunter and private investigator. When I got back from working overseas in Afghanistan, I just kind of walked into an office, started talking to some people, seeing if they needed any help. They gave me a shot on a guy that they had been looking for 6 months, and I went and apprehended him within 24 hours. I was in the military. I was in there for 6 years, part of the invasion of Iraq. Came home, got married, went back for another year, ended up getting out, and then I took a job with Blackwater as a private contractor doing diplomatic and executive protection, and did that for quite a few years in Afghanistan until I finally came home. I think I was chosen for Survivor because I have just lived a very interesting life. Pretty much everything I've ever done, career-wise, is things people won't fathom or won't do. And I'm okay with that. And I think because I've done that and followed that routine my whole life, it's made my story interesting. A lot of people look at me, seeing the way I look. Certain tattoos, I can't hide things I've done in my life. I do have quite a few military tattoos on me, and people underestimate me off of how I look. And they think of me as more of an uneducated person and will underestimate me that I can use to my benefit. I don't plot a lot of stuff out ahead of time in my life. It just doesn't work out for me like that. I go by the seat of my pants. I go wherever the job takes me at that moment, and I'm just going to treat this like a job. I really am, and just wherever it takes me, I'm going to go with it and try and manipulate it into my path of where I need it to go at that moment. I don't like stupid, so, it's one thing if you lie, that's fine, but if you do it in a stupid way, it just irks me. I can't handle that, and I just got to put you on blast.
My name is Michelle Fitzgerald. I'm from Freehold, New Jersey. I'm 24 years old and I'm a bartender. I'm a super fan of the show. I've been watching it since I was 10 years old, so I love it. I mean, I think it's the ultimate adventure. I've always wanted to get out there and test myself, and so I decided to go volunteer in Thailand to do something myself, and I was at a yoga and meditation detox retreat, and then from there I kind of traveled in a van with bands doing environmental work, and then I moved to Martha's Vineyard, and that was totally different. So I've been kind of all over the map trying to get as much adventure as I can in my young years. I think Harry Potter was my first crush. I don't know. When I love something, obviously you could tell since I'm a super fan of Survivor, when I love something, I love it. And like, that's how it is with me and Harry Potter, that's how it is with me and Survivor. I mean, you know, it's something that I was raised loving, and I think that's the obsession. I think people see me and they're like, oh, here's this girl, you know, she's from Jersey. Like, of course, there's some kind of stigma about Jersey and Jersey girls and, you know, shore girls. And so I think I'm perceived as a Jersey girl from the start, and then I'm kind of this quirky, you know, something else once you get to know me. The Jersey sass will probably come out at some point. We're quick, you know, it's just the way it is.
My name is Neil Gottlieb. I'm from Sausalito, California, and I'm an organic ice cream entrepreneur. I spent the first couple years of my career in a cubicle and just, you know, really realized that there was so much more to life. So I quit my job, climbed mountains in Nepal, and then joined the Peace Corps and went to Morocco. So when I came back, I really wanted to kind of combine my inner do-gooder with my dirty capitalist, and ended up starting a little ice cream shop. But the goal was always to build the next great American ice cream brand. My PR team hates when I say this, but I actually don't eat that much ice cream. Although for probably the first time in the past few years, I was caught eating ice cream at work. I found out that I was coming here and just decided from that point on, I need to put some extra weight on. Kind of twofold. One is you're definitely going to need the calories. I like to think I'm going to be great at spearfishing and catching clams, but at the end of the day, I'm probably going to lose half a pound or a pound most days as I'm climbing coconut trees and winning challenges. And then also, if I look a little flabby around camp, maybe people will take me as less of a physical threat than I actually am. I'll let the guys with the six-packs kind of fight it out amongst themselves, and then, you know, by day 25, day 39, I'll have my own six-pack to look good in that final tribal council. My twin brother and I used to work and then come home at night and watch Survivor. And at the time, you know, I was just this like lowly cubicle dweller. Not that there's anything wrong with living life in a cubicle, but it just wasn't the right life for me. And I thought, I'm pretty boring. There's no way I would ever get on the show. But then I decided to go the unconventional route. I quit, you know, joined the Peace Corps, traveled a lot, started my own business. And about 2 years ago, I started thinking, you know what, it's time to apply. I really think that I can not only get on, but that I can win. So I submitted a tape, and here I am.
I'm Nick Majorano. I'm 30 years old, and I'm a life coach. I mean, to be honest, it's BS. I mean, life coaching, it doesn't exist in Louisiana, I'm sure. I mean, it exists in LA, San Francisco, New York, but it's common sense, it really is. Well, I don't believe a job correlates to success or failure in Survivor, but you have to listen to people, you have to pay attention, you have to pretend like you're interested at times, and most importantly of all, you have to accept them. And I think that's the hardest for most people, so I do those things easily, because I know most people can't. I listen better, or I at least pretend to listen better. Most people don't care about the other person, they just don't. Most people are self-centered. I'm self-centered, but I know people are self-centered, so I'll do the opposite. I know how awful it sounds, trust me. But most people don't know that when you're pretending. Oh, I mean, I won't be honest one bit as far as showing that I'm intelligent in any way, if I am. But I will be telling them I'm a personal trainer. I won't say a life coach. It's too hard to explain. I'm not saying it's because I'm good looking whatsoever. I'm just saying if I don't say anything, or if I do say something, it's gonna be funny or sarcastic. There's not going to be any depth to it because I don't feel like sharing that. I want to have fun manipulating people and playing the game. Like, I don't want to be bored out there with people. I really don't, which is stupid because that's probably the easier way to win, but I'm up for a challenge. I just want to make sure I have the opportunity to be right or wrong. That's all I really crave in life. So I won't regret anything because I'll typically do exactly what I want to do. And I mean, that's egotistical, sure, but I should have my way because I'm terribly manipulative. It's not good. It's not something to be proud of. It really isn't. But I know that about myself.
My name is Peter Bagenstos. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I am an emergency room physician. I went into emergency medicine to feel like a functional doctor. When people get sick out in the world on an airplane and they say, is there a doctor around? I'm one of the few doctors that can do something. I don't need an operating room or really much except for my skills. My dad is a brain surgeon, my brother's a brain surgeon, my mom, she's a midwife, but they're all intelligent. My mother, she has a hard time with the concept of survivor. She thinks that I'm going to be out in the woods naked with a spear fighting Bengal tigers. My brother, he's so busy with work, his only words were, don't get injured and don't make us look stupid. I have watched 5 YouTube videos on building fire, and the conclusion I came to is, how about we win a challenge and get flints, as opposed to me spending my time in my apartment, in my condo floor, whittling sticks together and annoying my neighbors with the fire alarm. Who do I get told I look like? It's Barack Obama. I hear it all the time. When I'm at work, as I walk into a room, someone could have a broken leg or have a heart attack. The first thing they'll say is, do you know who you look like? And I'll say, you're having a heart attack. I could look like anyone. I can even look like the Grim Reaper in about 10 minutes. So let's focus on the task at hand. Before I came out here, I actually had a mohawk for a few months just to eliminate that conversation, because when I have 10 patients in the ER and I walk in and there's a little kid with a sore throat, I want to diagnose and treat them for a sore throat. I don't want to have a 10-minute discussion on healthcare policy. So I'm to the point right now where I'd get a face tattoo just to not talk about Obama. When you go to medicine, you give up your 20s. You really do. You get educated from the time you're 6 years old until you're 30 years old. And then you get birthed out into the real world and you got a great salary, but then you ask yourself, wow, where's my marriage? Where are my kids? Just like everyone else. So you feel left out and you try to recapture life. And this is kind of one of my symbols of retaining the youth that I have, or at least think I have. One standard and one constant is that I am unpredictable and that I have no problem picking up my anchor and moving elsewhere. So this is an adventure that is welcomed and needed, and if this wasn't real, I would have found my own adventure.
My name is Scott Pollard. I live in Indiana and Kansas, and I'm semi-retired from playing basketball. I played in the NBA for 11 years. I retired in 2008, and now I just raise the kids and I do some freelance broadcasting. I don't play basketball anymore. I can't play basketball anymore. It hurts too much. So I don't have a lot of outlets for my competitive side. So this is one of those things I can do and hopefully get a release of the competitiveness, get to be competitive and in a totally different way than I ever have been before. There's a great deal of luck that goes into every decision you make. You can go for the big play and think, this is going to be the one that solidifies my place in the final, and that could backfire and you get blindsided and you're out. And then you're going, dang, I wish I hadn't done that. So I've really been doing my homework, trying to brush up on Survivor to make it so that I'm as intelligent as I possibly can be, considering the fact that I'm a caveman. I'm 6'11", and I weigh 310 pounds. I know I'm the tallest survivor ever. I don't know if I'm the heaviest, but I know Cliff was the tallest, and I've played against Cliff. I'm taller than Cliff. I plan on being as honest as anybody in this game, which is not very honest at all. But as far as my background, I don't see any reason to hide what I used to do for a living. The target is going to be on my back whether I admit it or not. They're going to assume he was an athlete of some sort. They're going to assume he has money. They're going to assume a lot of things. So I might as well own up to what I can own up to and do my best to disguise what I don't have to own up to. There is no asterisk, as far as I've seen, on the Survivor slogan that says, unless you already have money, and anyone with an NBA championship ring. So in a fair and completely level playing field, anyone, regardless of their income or their net worth, should be able to win. We're going to put that to test.
Hey, my name is Tai Trang, and I live in San Francisco, and I work for the city and county of San Francisco. I'm a gardener. I work for along the waterfront, along the port of San Francisco. So anything touch the water, San Francisco Bay, with landscape, tree, I take care of it. I climb trees and stuff like that, which I love. You know, I'm an outdoor kind of guy. I climb trees. It's my favorite thing to do, is climb trees. I grew up in Vietnam, so there's not a lot of tree. You know, it's not too far from here, Vietnam. You know, I can actually swim there. I'm always an outdoor kind of guy. You know, in Vietnam it's hot. We always run around barefoot. So this is the fit. I feel like this is perfect for me. It's like coming home. I was born in 1964. I grew up in Vietnam, southern part of Vietnam. All my childhood was, all I remember was the war. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I'm right in the middle. I don't know why. My family has so many kids. I have 5 older and 5 younger. So I'm right in the middle child, but I don't have the personality of middle child. I'm always, I don't know why it is, but I'm always like step up and, you know, take care of stuff. During the war, I mean, our family were poor, even for Vietnamese standard. You know, sometimes we eat rice and soy sauce for like, I remember a very specific time, it's like 6 months straight. That's all we had was rice and soy sauce. But, you know, we're happy, you know, the whole family. I don't know why they have so many kids. I asked my mom and dad before, and they say, well, you know, it's a tradition, Chinese family, we do that. I mean, children mean well. I have a lot of hobbies, you know, I'm on a whaleboat rowing team, one of those huge old rowing, or like whaleboat. People used to hunt whale with I'm a beekeeper. I can talk about bee forever. I'm constant going. I drive my boyfriend crazy, you know. It's like, can you just I got depressed on the weekend. We don't have anything planned, then I got depressed, you know. I'm like the wave, you know, keep going and going. The day I stopped is when I died. Survival is a tough thing to win, but anything's possible. Anybody can win it. Just like America, if you work hard and you can be anything you want. To win this, I mean, come on, a 51-year-old immigrant speak with a heavy accent like me. Winning Survivor, it's about time, right? And this is in Cambodia. It's my hometown. I want to make it, you know, Southeast Asian immigrant. Winning this thing, it's gonna be like huge.